Hey YouTubers, it's me, TruckerOtter, and Donnie. Yes, it's Donnie up here on his perch. So, this is an update about my trucking life, and I didn't, in my one video, I didn't go into it a whole lot, but I'm gonna give you the basics of what went down with Pam. Because as those of you who do remember the story, I went to trucking school paid for by Pam. I have since quit Pam due to safety reasons. Now, I'm going to clarify here because Pam's a good starting company. Ish. I don't believe they pay their people enough. They word it on your contract that you are starting out at 35 cents a mile. That's what the recruiters tell you. That's what all the paperwork says until you're actually signing all the contracts that say your life is theirs for a year. You owe them $6,000. Also, don't let yourself get freaked out and forced into a position where you're staying with them for a year if you feel that they are not a good fit for you. Because also what the contract reads is that if you do not complete your year, you do not owe them the $6,000 all at once. You owe them $45 a paycheck until it's paid off. They're not going to call you and hound you and pressure you for the money. They're not going to do all that. They're just going to take it out of your paychecks. $45. Now I'm sure you can pay it off if you want to save up money and do that, but they don't force you to. Now, okay, so your contract says you get 35 cents a mile. You get 17 cents and a half as a team driver. You get 20 something cents a mile as a solo driver. It's about 2/3 to a half of the industry standard. It's not enough to survive on. It's part of the reason I left Pam. Another reason is, yes, I would like to eventually learn to drive flatbed, and I'd like to have a guaranteed, 2 weeks on over the road, or I'd like to have a job where I'm home every night and on the weekends. And that's actually preferable because my mom has medical conditions. And I really don't feel all that great about leaving her home alone, so, eh. Anyways, safety concerns. Now, for clarification's sake, safety concerns are not with the higher levels of Pam. The higher levels of Pam were great. What they say in regards to safety, bottom line, I'm okay with it. In fact, I like it a lot. That said, the trainers. There are a few concerns that I have in regards to the trainers. These guys can become trainers and go through mentor training as early as 6 months into the career with Pam. I'm not okay with that. It's like forging, working on a forge. Do you want to learn how to make a knife on your own from a guy who just learned how to build a fire? No. Do you want to learn how to swim from a guy who only knows how to doggy paddle? No. Do you want a guy who's only doggy paddling being your lifeguard? Fuck no. Trainers should not be just into the industry. You know, guys shouldn't be just into an industry and learning how to teach others how to do it. Nay. Should be doing that shit for at least 5 years. 10 would be more preferable before he even thinks about being a trainer, mentor, whatever you want to call it. Also, anybody that has a logbook and it keeps a paper logbook will understand what I am about to say. Your mentor should not be running that truck like a team truck. Your mentor should be on line 4 while you're on line 3. Let me double check that. Yep. You should be on line 3. Your mentor should be on line 4. When you're on line 2, he should be on line 2. When you're on line 1, he should be on line 1. At no point should your mentor, except for maybe the first day to show you the particulars of that truck, because each truck's a little different, but at no point should your mentor be on line 3. Okay? To give you guys who do not have a who don't know how logbooks work, give you the rundown. Because of DOT, they're all universal in what lines 1 through 4 mean. Lines 1's off duty. You know, anytime you're not driving the truck, you're off duty. You're off shopping at Walmart on your downtime, or you're off eating lunch, or any of that stuff. You know, as long as you're not on the clock, as long as you're not on your 14 hours, and you're not asleep, if you're awake and not doing your job, you're off duty. It's off duty, that's line 1. Line 2 is sleeper. Anytime you're in that sleeper berth, and you're in bed and asleep, you're on line 2. You're in the sleeper. Line 3 is drive time. That's anytime you're behind the wheel. You're on line 3. And anytime you're doing your job but you're not driving, like if you're unloading at the dock, or you're doing your pre-trip, or you're I think a certain amount, but I gotta double check. Don't quote me on this. But anytime you're on the clock and you're like driving in your personal vehicle, on the clock from point A to point B, like if you have to leave your rig at the terminal you come to, and you gotta go down to another terminal in your personal vehicle and pick up another rig and bring it back to the terminal you started out at, or whatever. I think that qualifies as on duty, not driving, but it might not. I think the on driving only pertains to the semi itself. Do not quote me on that. As I said, I am new to the industry, and I might be wrong, and I probably am. Seasoned drivers, please correct me if I am wrong on that. But anyways, point is, at no point when you are on line 3, when you're with a mentor, your mentor should not be, except for maybe the first day, on line 3. He should be on line 4 when you're on line 3. and that clock should run out, and then you should both be either line 1 or line 2. My mentor ran that truck like a team truck, and I was not okay with that. Donnie, stop fucking up. Stay, good otter. So yeah, it's you know, my mentor caused me injury because of reckless behavior. His idea of a pre-trip was a joke. You would get out of the truck, kick the tires, and call it good. And I mean literally kick the tires. He'd hop out, he'd kick the tire in the front, he'd walk to the trailer tire, kicking each one in the way, and then do it up the other side. He'd crawl back into his driver's seat and for 15 minutes would be chatting on his cell phone. He didn't know, but I watched him do his pre-trip each and every time. Wasn't a safe pre-trip. He didn't even open the hood and look under it. He texted while driving regularly, and we're not talking just a quick got it text. We're talking his hand would be up on the driving wheel doing this with his cell phone. Glance down, glance at his mirrors, keep driving and texting at the same time. Reported him to safety 3 times. Each and every time they asked me if I had photographic evidence. I said I did not, and they told me to shut up. I did not have photographic evidence because I did not have a phone that was capable of taking and sending it. So, ultimately, I did not feel that Pam was a safe work environment for me. Not because of the company, but because of the mentor. So I quit. I am now putting in applications at Central. I have been told that it is very unlikely that I will not get the job. So I'm looking forward to working for them. Just for clarification, I was told this by other truckers. They said Central will hire pretty much anyone. New, old, doesn't matter. They've got to train you anyways. And I look forward to it because it'll teach me another job skill. Some truckers will complain about having to learn to drive a forklift and working on the dock and all this. Not me. You know, I mean, if they have to teach me to drive a forklift, awesome. That's another skill. That's another career skill. That's, you know, if I somewhere down the road, you know, I could wind up enjoying working for Central and work for them for the next 20, 30 years. Awesome. If I don't, you know, if I work for them, let's say 5 years, and I decide, you know, it's not a good fit anymore, I feel like I could do a little better for a career. And stop fucking up, Donnie. Then I could, you know, I could take those skills that I've learned at Central, including driving a forklift, and I could work anywhere that those skills are applicable. Can't English today. Just can't. Fucking up. Anyways, I could take those skills that I learned and apply them anywhere that they are applicable. And, you know, that doesn't make me less of a trucker to know how to do those things. Make me more hireable. And I'm all down for being more high anywhere that I can get experience in and, future. It's called job security. Anyways, I'm rambling at this point. I'm just kind of talking as I go, and that's kind of how I roll anyways. Sorry. You guys know how to get in touch with me. You can leave comments. You can reach me at snarkincarnate on Twitter. You can shoot me an email at truckerotter@gmail.com. Yeah. And if you go into the Alley Night chat room, I'm on there occasionally as Otter. I haven't gone in quite as much as I want to, or as I should, because those guys are awesome. I wouldn't be in the trucking business or industry. I wouldn't have my CDL if it wasn't for Allie and her awesome peeps. Because they stood behind me and they said, listen, you have a dream, you need to chase it. And we will support you for that. Anybody who was hoping to see me at GATS, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to be able to make it because I'm insufficient funds for gas, and if I was going to have funds for gas, it would be because I have a job, which fingers crossed I will, and that job will prevent me from being able to go to GATS. So I'm afraid I won't be able to go. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna do daily updates, and I'll let you know how the job hunt goes. I'll keep hounding Central every few days until I hear a definite yes or no. They need to know I'm interested. So this is TruckerOtter and Donnie saying thanks for hanging out for the last 20 minutes-ish. There was going to be a video about Mackinac. I went up last weekend for Mackinac for a reenactment, and I wasn't able to get any footage. So, I apologize. Yeah. Anyways, this is getting long-winded, and you guys are awesome. Have a great day. Be awesome to each other. Bye.